All right, peace, brothers and sisters. We're gonna go into a quick little discussion. We gotta stop allowing um, commentators when they don't commentate fights correctly to determine what the fight is, and we gotta start questioning a lot of these fans that make these erroneous statements about who won the fight and who lost the fight. It's very important for us if we're boxing fans or gurus or whatever, we have to go back and we have to look at the videos ourselves and we have to determine for ourselves who won the fight. If the commentator is correct, that's fine. But a lot of times, the commentators, you have to be very careful with the judges and the commentators. It's because a lot of times they may have a certain type of, how can I say, they could they may not like the fighter personally. Like me personally, um, I can't even say that I don't like Teofimo Lopez personally because I don't know him, right? But from a boxer standpoint of view, I'm not very fond of Tio, but I understand the antics and the arrogancy is basically to keep itself relevant. He's he's very smart in that aspect. Now, do I think that he has made some mistakes along the way? Of course, but he's a human being. We can make mistakes. He's going to continue to make mistakes and he's going to continue to grow as a person. But what I don't like about boxing fans, we don't know how to separate the two. See, we act like we know Teofimo Lopez from a personal standpoint of view. So a lot of times when he step in the ring, it's a personal bias towards him. It's just like similar. It's similar to the same way with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Like I didn't like Floyd Mayweather. Um, I respected his boxing skills, but I didn't really like him as a boxer a whole lot. Is because I feel like he used to face guys when they was on the downside of their career. But from a personal standpoint of view, I don't know Floyd personally. He may be a wonderful person personally, but from a boxing standpoint of view, I get I get the arrogancy now. That's just to sell tickets. Is because if he's always a nice person, and always generous and stuff. A lot of times people don't respect people like that, and a lot of times they don't get the fights that they feel like that they deserve. So I'm saying all this to say this is that when I was watching the Lopez versus Martin fight, shout out to Martin. I think he fought a very good fight. Um, I do think that the second knockdown was legitimate, and I think that well, we already know this, but boxing is very corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is very corrupt. You know what I mean? So the referee he could have made a mistake, but he knocked down Teofimo Lopez the first time, but it wasn't a knockdown that really hurt him. You know what I'm saying? And the quote unquote controversial second knockdown, it wasn't. It was more of a flash knockdown because Teofimo may have came in and he wasn't keeping his hands up and stuff like that, and he got caught. And I think both of those knockdowns he was off balance, but it's still a knockdown more or less. But if we just looking at the fight, Teofimo did very good. Just like when Cambosis won the unanimous decision. Me personally, I don't think that Kambosos should have got the win. I think Teofimo was not liked coming into the fight. Now, Teofimo, he may have, um, how can I say, I wouldn't even think that he did anything wrong in the Kambosos fight. He fought a very good fight. It was just that Kambosos was gamed. I think that Teofimo, I think in that fight, it should have been a draw. And in this fight, it was a draw just as well. It was a seesaw battle. That's what it was. It was a seesaw battle. And Teofimo Lopez, he's um he's moving up in weight. He's 140 pounds now. And a lot of these guys at 140 pounds, believe it or not, they're pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And they're kind of on his level a little bit. Like this guy Martin, he moved around the ring and he showed good boxing skills and stuff like that. He never did anything to hurt Teofimo. Um, I don't think that he should have got the win is because even though he got the knockdown, it was a very close fight. It was a very close fight. So, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, it was a draw. But when you listen to a lot of people that's in the boxing world, um, because they have a personal bias against Teofimo, is he a jerk in the ring and stuff like that? Of course he is. But a lot of that stuff is just antics. You know what I'm saying? It's just to keep a person relevant. You know what I'm saying? But Teofimo Lopez is a very good fighter. I think that he needs to go back to the drawing board, and he may have to get another trainer in the ring. See, with him and his father. You know what I'm saying? It's because you know if you're trying to be the best, you gotta have people around you. Just like Bud, I think he got like three trainers, but Bomac is the main trainer. But it's like three of them, three or four of them. You know what I'm saying? You got Bernie the boxer, you got the Mexican brother, you got Bomac, and I think you got another guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like three or four of them. That's you know they behind Bud. They teach Bud different things. And I think that Teofimo, he needs to take that same approach. His father can still be the number one guy. You know what I'm saying? He still can be in the forefront, just like back in the day with Lou Duva. Lou Duva was the main trainer, but you had Georgie Benton. And Georgie Benton was very good at what he did. You know what I'm saying? And him and Lou Duva, they meshed together. Now did they bump heads and stuff like that? Of course. That's with anybody. But if you're trying to build something, you probably have to bring in multiple people to help you in different aspects. Because he's moving up in a different weight class and he's coming against bigger guys, and they hit a little bit harder too. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I gave Teofimo, I gave him a B in this fight. I think he did pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy frustrated him a little bit because he kept moving around, pock shotting and stuff like that. He could never really get in and kind of pressure him a little bit. And when he did, the guy did a very good job in terms of counter punching him. That's how he was able to score that knockdown. It wasn't that he hurt Teofimo. It was just that Teofimo probably just got frustrated with like the little pock shots and stuff like that. Martin, he fought a pretty good fight. But we have to start to look at the fight for ourselves. A lot of these guys, man, they just, I get it. Like I say, I'm not a big time Floyd Mayweather fan, but Floyd Mayweather is a very good fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's a very good fighter. You know, you don't become undefeated just because he has worked hard to get to that point. And I would love to see a Teofimo in there with some more better opponents. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he can get a title shot, and maybe he can fight Regis Prograde or one of these guys that's champions, man. So in my estimate, looking at the fight, I think it was a draw. You know what I mean? Maybe they can do it again. But Teofimo, he's not big on rematches. You know what I mean? Because when he lost the controversial decision to Camposis, he didn't go back and avenge that loss. And he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. You know what I mean? So hopefully, if he doesn't get a title shot, maybe he can go back and fight Martin on the next go round. So with that being said, peace.